Hey, a pleasant good afternoon, everybody. This is going to be a video on the Sixers. Happy Election Day. It's actually late morning. I said good afternoon, but it's going to be afternoon probably by the time this video comes out. Anywho, so the Sixers, of course, got their first loss as Devin Booker kicked their ass again. He scored 40. Devin Booker's very good, but Ricky Rubio also added 21 with 10 assists, and we made that dude look like a shooter. Now, I still don't think you should freak out after one loss. The Sixers did not play as good of defense yesterday. It's pretty understandable they didn't. But they still played decent, and they still stayed in the game while not playing their best overall game, because Tobias got hot to start, then kind of went the opposite direction and shot that stupid, it was a 50-50 call. You could have called that a foul, but that was still a dumbass shot to take at the end of the game. So, and I'm not trying to not, like, Tobias Harris is a great player. I love Tobias Harris, but I mean, you got to be real, and you got to be real. That was stupid. Even though, because they're not calling those ticky-tacky things on the shots. If you look at in the paint, they're calling stupid fouls nowadays. But if you look at three-point line, there's been games I've been watching around the league where guys have got barely hit or just got hit after the shot went up, which is not called, where it used to be called more in the past. So, trying to shoot that shot was just idiotic at the end of the game regardless, where you should have tried to get it to somebody. You were double teamed. Guess what? If you get fouled, rippity-doo-dah-day. I mean, the thing is, also, you're better off getting a better shot. That's why it was so impressive when we came back against the Trailblazers, because you got the best shot opportunity. Of course, Furkan, like a lot of people say, is probably not the best dude to try to hit the game-winning shot, but the thing is, he was wide open, and like Ben Simmons said, it was by far the right pass, because the dude was wide open. So, he made it. He was square to the basket there. He still needs to work on some of his shooting, but, I mean, to think that Furkan's going to be the answer as your sharpshooter is kind of naive, because he's a very young foreign player, and some guys that come from the EuroLeague end up just being those pitch-in shooters and nothing much more than that. What's been the most impressive about him is the charges he's took, but he still sucks at defense. He's taken more charges, but those charges are making him look better on defense than he actually is. Because if you really look at it, he got torched by Rodney Hood, and then yesterday he got torched by more than just one person on the Suns. Whoever he was guarding, he typically got torched by. So, I mean, the fact that he went for a pump fake on Kelly Oubre, I realize that dude's getting better at shooting, but 9 times out of 10, Kelly Oubre is going to want to pump fake you at the three-point line and go, not pump fake you and shoot. So, I mean, the fact that he still needs to learn the league, he still needs to learn the players he's going up against, because clearly he did not know his scouting report. He got past him a couple times when he ended up having a switch and being on Kelly Oubre or other guys on the Sun that are able to put the ball on the floor after going for the pump fake Furkan. So there's still a lot of improvement that dude needs to do. If he can contribute on offense, that's great, but the problem with starting him is he's very similar to J.J. Redick in the sense that he sucks at defense, except for J.J. Redick could drop you 25 to 35 points in a given game. Furkan's not damn near close to that, at least at this point. So, to think that he's an answer as a shooter is naive. To think he could be the answer in certain games is not naive. He was the answer in a couple straight games, but he's still not great. And I don't think he's ever going to be a great NBA player, in my opinion. I think Shake Milton, honestly, has a better chance to be a good NBA player than Furkan Korkmaz. Because Korkmaz is very limited as just a sharpshooter, and that's about it. Unless if he really develops his defense, because like I said, charges and drawing fouls can be deceiving. That's very good to be able to do. But if that's all you're good at, then you're really not good at defense. You're just good at kind of gaining momentum, trying to grab the momentum back, which is a good player to have, but not a guy that you want overexposed in a game. And that's the problem with the Sixers right now. They barely played Thibault, and they kind of overexposed Korkmanz, in my opinion, in some games. It's kind of like, why is he out there when you have a guy that's better at defense when he's getting tortured defense? I understand you need the scoring, but the thing is, you didn't need the scoring in all facets of that game. Because during a period, Tobias Harris was hot. Then, I mean, you had Ben contribute, even though he didn't have the best overall game. he contributed in spurts. And then you had Al Horford, who dominated yesterday, even in the loss. He shot 50% from the floor. So, I mean, and did great from the three-point line. So, you got to be able to balance it. And I'm not putting it on Brett Brown. I'm putting it more on the personnel we have, that we sometimes, I think you just have to favor the defender, especially when it looks like Furkan's not going to outdo his defense. That's the other side of guys that struggle in defense. You have to outplay your own defense. And Korkmaz at this point cannot outplay his own defense most of the time. So he's a guy that should be in the game for 5-minute clips to 10-minute clips at most, and not starting. He's never going to be an NBA starter. He's always going to be a backup. And, I mean, he's a nice guy. He seems like a wonderful guy in interviews, but Nelson Aguilar also seems like a nice guy, and he sucks. So, the premise is, I don't care if you're nice, I'm still going to say it as it is. Furkan is not on that level. Someone tweeted that he's the Andrew Knapp of the Sixers. I don't agree with that. But, I mean, the premise is, you also have good coaching. In my opinion, Brett Brown is a good coach. He pulls the best out of people. Where the Sixers' biggest issue going forward is not finding a shooter. It's being able to balance their bench, because you can't keep Furkan overexposed. You're supposed to be a defensive team because he doesn't outplay his defense. Where when you put Thibault in, yeah, maybe he can't score and shoot as well. Well, no kidding. That's not what he's supposed to be good at in his first freaking season. So, and then what I've liked by him is he's not afraid to shoot. Just like Zaire was last year. He's not a best shooter, still needs to develop a lot, but isn't afraid to shoot when he's in the game. I'd rather have that than a guy like Fultz who's like, and can't freaking shoot. So, the thing is, I don't dislike Furkan. I just don't think the hype that we've got in a response to 3 games is good. I mean, you can overhype someone, sure, but what's going to happen when you overhype them and they start sucking? You're going to be thoroughly disappointed and pissed off. So So my take on it is, take it all with a grain of salt. It's 3 damn games. Guys have had 3 good games. There's been guys in the MLB that hit well for a whole year and then sucked after that. Or for 2 months in case of Dominic Brown for local Philly people. So, I mean, just because a guy is good for a Clipper period doesn't mean you should be ready to say, oh, this dude is going to be the guy that we... Where I see that a little bit too much on Twitter, where now I'm like, okay, he might be decent, but decent is the right word to use. Not, oh, he might be the guy that we can develop into this shooter. You need to see more than 3 games to say that, in my opinion. Anyway, this has been a video on the Sixers and mainly Korkmaz. Peace out, everybody.